What's up, y'all? It's Friday. I'm going to get a haircut. I never get my haircut on Fridays. It's normally Saturdays. But I guess because it's Cinco de Mayo on this weekend, he was booked up for Saturday. So I don't, well, it's whatever. I'm not gonna, my new thing is I'm gonna stop complaining. So I really don't have shit to complain about. I feel like sometimes low key, I just be creating shit to complain about. So I'm trying to get out that habit. But anyway, what's up, y'all? How was y'all week? I actually had a really, really good week. It was a very good closeout to April and opening to May. I think it was on Monday. So at my job, we had this event and they wanted, or I guess they had already called like news channels to come and cover it. But my supervisor, who is like the go to person for that kind of stuff, like when media comes to work, she's like the media person. And then if it's not her, then is another person on my team who is the media specialist. So neither of them were there. So they called me to like fill in and do their positions. I was like, I've never had to like field or like coordinate interviews ever before, especially not for like news, like the local Atlanta news. Like it was like a cameraman. He had the branded hat, the branded camera, all that. I was a little bit nervous because I was like, okay, what if somebody asks me something that I don't know the answer to? Or what if somebody's like, oh, I need you to do da da da. And I'm like, oh shit, this is like my first time ever doing something like this, so I don't really know. But it all went smooth. Um, Me and the camera guy actually had a little bit of a rapport. I made sure that he interviewed the people who needed to be interviewed. I don't know if it made it to air or if the story made it to. I think he told me he was doing the interviews to submit for the 4 o'clock or the 5 o'clock news. I'm not sure, but so I don't know if it made it. I didn't look. I forgot. But I was like, bam, I got that. I was like, that was nothing, easy peasy. And then it also was like another kind of reassurance that like my supervisor and like my team at work, they trust me to do things, even if I have not done it before. I just have the certain know how to just get things done, regardless whether or not, I've done it before, I have experience, it's my quote, field, whatever. So that was good. And then after that, I was listening. This was probably Wednesday morning. I was listening to a podcast. It was about not giving yourself enough credit. And I was like, oh shit, that is like perfect timing. The podcast message basically was like, I guess kind of the central theme of it. I'm not going to run down every single talking point, but the theme of the podcast was very much, we're our own worst critics. We've come a lot farther than we give ourselves credit for a lot of the time. We have made a lot of progress in our personal journeys. Like it was a lot of just, we have to really be aware and we have to really just know how far along we are in our personal journey. It's like you have to just stop, take a minute, and really just look around and just really enjoy all the fruits of your labor and really enjoy everything that you have done to get you to where you are now. Doesn't matter if you're not where you want to be, if you're not at, you're not at point G yet, but you have to acknowledge that you went from point A to point F. You can't ignore all of those steps. And we just have to take time as people. I think because a lot of us struggle with this, where we just don't give ourselves enough credit, and I definitely don't give myself enough credit. Um, what is it? It's May 2024. May 2021. I was still living at my parents' house. I was 28. Yeah, I was 28 in 2021. And I was working at a job that I hated. I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield as a claims processor. Very sort of like dead end job for me at least. I considered that a dead end job only because I just did not want anything to do with processing healthcare claims or working at, insurance or selling insurance, processing insurance, whatever. That just like was not, that was nowhere in my sort of like journey or what I wanted to do in life. I was at my parents' house working a dead end job and I was just like, fuck. I was like, what am I about to do? I do not want to be in Columbia, South Carolina at 28 years old. I just don't. And I was like, Mike, there has to be something, just like you gotta just really apply yourself and you gotta really just kind of set those building blocks up for you to get where you want to be, where you need to be, where you feel like you're destined to be at, which was at that time I thought back in Atlanta, which I'm in Atlanta now, and I'm kind of feeling like I'm outgrowing this city a little bit. That's the only reason why I say at the time I thought it was Atlanta. But I mean, that again goes to my point. I'm thinking that I'm bored of the city, or I'm thinking that I'm like over the city, when for just 3 years ago, I would have done anything to get back in Atlanta and get back financially stable to support myself in Atlanta. And I just have it's that's kind of funny. That's kind of like I'm coming full circle with like my own point here. But yeah, 3 years ago, I was a different person in every way. I was very anxious about everything. My anxiety was so out of control. It was just like there was some days when I could not even function if I didn't have a drink first, or if I didn't like do something to soothe, like self-soothe, or I just if I didn't have any way to calm my own anxiety down, calm myself down, I just would not do anything. One thing that stayed constant, I'll have to give myself props for it, even with that crippling anxiety stage, was I always made an effort to go to the gym. I still was getting, in the gym, getting my body moving every day. So I got to give myself a little bit of credit for at least doing that. And I wasn't just like completely paralyzed by my anxiety. I mean, I just have to just look at myself, look at Mike 3 years ago. And I really have I'm really, really transparent with y'all. I'm really letting y'all in because I've never even admitted. It took me a while to even admit to myself that, Mike, you have a problem with your anxiety and a problem being dependent on alcohol to kind of like help you not be anxious. It took me I did that for years, where I had to drink something before I could do anything that made me anxious. And a lot of what made me anxious was getting in the car. And I talked about that with like 3 or 4 different therapists that I just had over the years. And it's just been linked to kind of my anxiety around control in general. I guess I can break it down and say, when you're at the wheel, you are literally physically in control of your own life. You're physically in control of where you're going, like where your destination is. And mentally you know where you're going, and you're in a car that's moving forward, just you by yourself towards your destination. And my anxieties around not having control, my anxieties around losing my direction, not knowing where I'm going, manifested themselves into a driving anxiety. That's how my anxiety manifested physically. it had to have been probably from 2017 through, honestly, the majority, the first half probably of 2023. I could not go anywhere without drinking first. Not getting drunk, but just having a drink. That's like, it's crazy to even think about that I did that for so long. What is that? 6 years? 5 years? 6 years? That's crazy. And I try not to shit on myself for that. I try not to criticize my past self and be like, Mike, what the fuck? Like, you was literally out here having a drink to do any normal thing in life. But I can't berate and criticize and beat up my old self for that, because that version of Mike was doing what he thought he needed to do to just fucking like get up and survive in the world. And that's crazy to think about. So, kind of like, I mean, just like I said, now I'm in such a different place. I'm so clear headed. I'm so determined. I've always been determined, but now even more so. I'm determined. I'm focused. I am so much more open minded. And honestly, I'm so much less judgmental of other people just because of what I have experienced. I look at it as this is everybody's first time living life and living in this, like, this lifetime. Once you start to heal yourself, you begin to realize that everybody is out here they're just trying their best, y'all. Everybody is out here trying their best. So we have to give everybody else a little bit of grace, and we have to give ourselves grace first and foremost. It's just our first time. Like, y'all, this is our first time living in this lifetime on this planet Earth. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody was, when they were born, nobody was given a book and be like, okay, here you go, here's how you succeed in life. That's not how it is. We have to stumble, we have to fall, we got to make mistakes. Some people have a harder road than others. Some people have different struggles than others. Some people choose to face those struggles in different ways. And I just feel like we all have to just treat ourselves better. I'm finishing up editing this video, y'all. um, I actually did have Cinco de Mayo plans, but they kind of fell through, which is cool. All good. I'm more like go with the flow type anyway. Like plans are not like, oh, I have to do it or my day is ruined, you know? This was a chill vlog. I'm playing with color grading again. I really like how this looks. I think I want to try some different LUTs though. Try maybe my own like color grade settings. This bandana's kind of fucked up. Or maybe I'm just critiquing myself unnecessarily like I always do. Y'all know how I do. Always got some shit to say about myself. But just to kind of reiterate what I was saying in the beginning, because I feel like I kind of dragged it a little bit. I went on a little bit of a tangent, which I mean, is not anything new for me, but yeah, let's, as we close out this video and as I close out this week, let's just all try to keep in mind that we're all just trucking through life, going through life, you know, figuring shit out moment by moment, literally. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody, you may have a plan, but I mean, we don't, at the end of the day, we don't have like a blueprint for success in life. So just remember, y'all, be kind to yourself. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself fuck up. Learn from that. But I mean, it's not a death sentence. Like fucking up is not a death sentence. You know what I mean? There's always tomorrow. There's always like second chance. So that's it, y'all. That's all I got. So thanks for watching, y'all. Make sure if you're watching, also, a lot of y'all who watch, well, most of y'all who watch are not subscribed. So if you're watching, subscribe, like, share, all that. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.